Okay, so we'll go ahead and start with the Foundations Beginner box. It says here you get 2 instant play decks, so we can play, maybe. 2 learn to play guides, 8 jumpstart decks, and more. Alright, so let's go ahead.
More.
And more. So they don't even tell you.
Oh, I think it comes with the play mat.
What? Oh, that's crazy.
I think it comes with 2 play mats.
Does it come with the little mini play mats?
Yeah, like 2.
Is this even play mat size? Hang on. Let me see. Okay, so here we are opening it up.
I think it's folded.
I like how some of the people on YouTube open it. They just take the knife and they're just scraping the artwork. I think it's amazing. Oh, look at it! It opens up like a
like a game board.
Yeah.
A game board.
Oh, that is so cool.
Wow.
Okay, so yeah, you got the tokens.
It's probably like a paper mat.
Paper mat. Yeah, it's probably like a paper mat. Oh, look, you actually got decks.
Wow.
So you got the cat's deck.
Oh, these are pretty.
Yeah, do not shuffle. And then you got the undead. Oh, that's pretty.
Wow.
Oh, which is funny because
this is supposed to be a simpler version of how to play, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's supposed to be like a simplified version, so you can just kind of get into it. So it's supposed to be less complex than Commander.
Yeah.
From what I understand, and then the mechanics are supposed to be a lot easier. So there's nothing complicated. This is supposed to slowly bring you into the idea of how to play.
Are you excited?
I'm excited. I'm excited about, converting people over. Well, they really did need a product like this because look
the
at
mat.
You're right.
Guys, where to
that
put the
is
cards.
funny. Oh, that is cool.
This is where the graveyard is.
Yeah. Here, we should I didn't expect it to be this busy. Oh, that is funny.
It's for both, or is
I'm
it
knocking
just
it
one?
out.
Oh,
there you go.
Wait.
It's upside down.
Is one for me, one for you?
Yeah, one for you, one for me. This desk is not as roomy as I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
Yeah, you get 2 mats.
Oh wow, look at that.
No wonder they sold out. No wonder people were after these.
You think that's why?
I think so. I think at the end of the day, I think people love value for their product. I think.
Well, it's different for sure.
Yeah, and it's smart because I was going to say, as I hit the camera, I was going to say that Magic really needs a product like this because they're losing ground to FAB and they're losing ground to One Piece. Because I've noticed at the local TCG, a lot of the local hardcore players who used to be hardcore MTG, they're not playing MTG anymore. They've gotten into One Piece, and I don't know what it is about that game. I haven't really looked into it, but One Piece is just taken over everything. So, so there's the wheel that explains the archetype, the color archetypes. So they have the idea of what each one is supposed to embody. So white is supposed to embody protection and order. Green is supposed to embody life and nature. And then you see Nissa as the OG Planeswalker. Red is supposed to be fury and chaos with Chandra Nylar. Then you have black with death and decay. And then finally you have blue with deceit and intelligence. And I noticed they're using a ninja now. I'm not sure who this character is, but this slot used to be Jace, Valerian, and he's gone now. So I don't know if he got killed off in one of the storylines. I think he might have gotten killed off during the Phyrexia storyline. And Johnny Prideheart, I think that's his name, he's now the OG Planeswalker for white, but that used to be Gideon Jura. So, interesting. Wow. Well, they moved the storyline so much that we lost track of it.
Wait, does it come with a die?
It actually does. It comes with 2 dice.
Ooh, different colors?
Yep. And, different colors. 2 different dice.
So you have to scan that thing to get the instructions?
Yeah, you can actually learn digitally if you prefer. Otherwise, you can use the reference guides.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so quick start guide for cats, quick start guide for vampires, and then the Foundation's rules reference guide. So the rules reference guide will go over, like I said, and this is another thing that the Magic the Gathering product has been lacking lately. It's been lacking paper content to actually be able to show what, how to play. The bundles actually used to come with that, but they don't come with that anymore. And
I like how it's big font too.
It's big font too, so you can get like coffee stains on it and still be able to read it. And this is what's been lacking, because I know that you've had some questions.
Yeah.
And you could never figure it out.
Well, even the card itself, the fonts are so tiny. Like, I couldn't determine what they were.
Right.
So if they're this size font, I can figure it out.
Exactly. Now, I like here on the play mats that are provided, they actually give you your zones. So you have your library, which you see right here. Then you have your graveyard.
Yeah.
And then you have your exile zone. And then you have your lands and your creatures that you play. And then I guess you can keep your dice here for your life total.
Okay.
And I like the idea that they make it, they try to keep it nice and tidy.
And what are those?
I'm still not sure what these are. Oh, you know what? I think these are deck boxes. Maybe. I think what you do is you...
Or separators?
Or they might be separators. Let me see. I thought they were deck boxes, like you could put them together like origami.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
It doesn't have a slot for that.
Yeah, then they might be separators then.
But wouldn't they have those labels that say white, blue, green?
Oh,
red?
you're right. So this is just like trash now. Okay.
Oh, but you know what? It might be in here.
Oh, it might be.
And then it has a little slot thing right there, dip.
Uh-huh.
So if there's like a topic, a subject line here, then it'll show through.
Okay.
Right? So
Yeah, you might be right. I mean, I don't know. I thought I knew, but maybe I don't.
And then these are the boxes.
And then you could use these as the deck boxes.
Oh wait, there's look.
Oh, look at you!
Yeah, look at that. There's slots.
What? Oh my God, that's so intelligent.
There you go. It's got slits in it.
Oh my God, that's so awesome.
But there's only one.
Well, you can keep your decks in here, right?
Both players?
Well, I mean, I'm assuming that it's gonna be like,
You know what they're missing?
what are they missing?
The sleeves.
They are missing the sleeves.
They need to provide sleeves so that people understand what the sleeves are for.
To protect your cards.
That and to keep them concealed, I thought.
Well, yes, keep them concealed. And the sleeve market is a completely different animal in itself. But people can play without sleeves. I started running into players that play without sleeves.
This is ingenious.
That is really cool. And that's been...
It's all paper. There's no plastic.
It's all paper. There's no plastic. Yep.
They're recyclable.
Yes. I wonder, is there a top for the box, or is it just... No, that's just how it is, huh?
Oh, wait. There might be.
Really? Somewhere else ingeniously folded. The unboxing experience.
Does this become the top?
It might.
No,
now I don't trust anything. That's amazing.
Wait, is it the right size? No, it's not.
Are you sure? No, you got a light. There you go.
I mean, if it's this way, but no, it's not.
I think that's really cool. Okay.
Wow. So now everyone can see what comes in the box, how to assemble this.
Yep. Yeah, well, like what is in it?
Yeah.
How do you open it?
Oh, this is exciting.
This is cool. This is pretty cool. I mean, it's better than like just some of the like opening a random commander deck and just being overwhelmed.
And you know these hard boards?
Mm-hmm.
This is the original like game board type.
Yeah. Like they're getting back to the roots.
Yes. It's foldable. It'll tear eventually, but
But you can actually use this for your regular games too, as you play.
Yeah.
I think this is really cool. I think this is a step in the right
We
direction.
should buy more of these.
Yeah,
to get more people
we
involved.
could. Well, I don't know why they don't come out with more of the foldable flat play mats. Because I think they're easier to carry around. Everybody uses the folding ones
Yeah,
or the rollables,
Yeah.
but they're really hard to carry around.
Well, because these tear.
They do tear, but they're also cheaper. Like you could buy these for pennies on a dollar,
Yeah.
you know, $5 a piece. Get them in different designs, and if they tear, you can just buy another one.
Clever, yeah.
Yeah, I love this artwork here. Like it's just, you know, sometimes I really go to the roots. Doesn't look like it's a.
So what does this mean? It's the vampire deck.
Well, the best way I could explain it is that decks are always going to have themes to them, because when we put them together, or we construct a deck, you know, you use the cards, but eventually you go for what's called an archetype, right? Or like a theme. So vampires means that it's going to predominantly, vampires, it's weird as vampires because she's actually a necromancer, so it should be zombies. But anyway, let's not get into semantics here. Vampires are going to be predominantly vampires. Cats are going to be predominantly cats. Goblins are going to be predominantly goblins.
Okay.
So when somebody says I'm running a goblin deck, I'm running a vampire deck, I'm running a dragon deck, you start to think, okay, well, what are some of the dragons or the more popular dragons in Magic the Gathering? Okay, what can I expect?
Okay.
You know? But the thing about playing constructed, like playing against somebody who's got their deck, is in a tournament fashion, you really don't know what their deck is going to be running until they're actually going to play it. Oh, this is so cool. Okay, I think I know what's going on. I think I know why they're saying do not shuffle. Because I think...
Oh, if you follow the directions?
I think if they're saying if you follow the directions of the deck, it teaches you how to play the game with the deck. Step by step.
Okay.
Do not shuffle. See?
So
Because it's showing...
they already know what's going to come up.
I think so, yeah. I think they say, okay, this is what your opening hand's going to look like. You draw 7, and then they're showing you, like, verbatim, like, this is the card name, this is the mana cost, this is the type.
But then, that can't be right, because then, don't they just mean don't shuffle this card on the top? Because this is just the cover?
I think what they're saying is that...
Because how do you put it back together for the next person that wants to learn?
Well, I think you learn once, and then that's it. You know?
I don't learn things at once.
Well...
Should we open it?
Huh?
Should we open the cat's deck to see? I think you just don't shuffle this top card in.
Really?
Yeah.
No. Look, it says here, don't shuffle your deck before the training game.
Oh.
To prepare to play, take the following steps. So lay the play mat in front of you. Place your deck face down on the library. Place a life counter on a life total with the 10 showing. Okay.
Okay,
So we're going to do 10.
Okay.
All right, very good. And then, all right, so let's go ahead and do this. So you be cats, and I'll be vampires,
Okay.
even though it says undead.
Am I supposed to open this?
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about
Tokens?
this, so we'll just do the tokens here. Let me do a life check on the battery here. Okay, we're still looking good. I'm gonna move, let's move everything just a little bit more. There you go. Okay. That looks good. Okay, very good. Oh my god, I can't even open it. Alright. So we got some tokens here, which I tried to explain what tokens were before, but...
Yeah, I don't remember.
Okay, that's good. Well, hopefully the game will teach us.
I wonder how long... Does it tell you how long this is going to take to play?
Huh?
Does it give you a time?
Well, it's only 10, so I don't think it's going to take very long at all. I think the whole idea is that you open it and then it shows you. And in this case, we're going to videotape it so people can go back and learn. Okay, so I think this can come off. But then I think everything else goes face down.
Into the library. Okay.
Yep. Okay. Good deal.
So really, you're not showing how to really play because normally you shuffle and.
Yeah,
whatever
but I
mode
think
anyway.
it's gonna start. So, so we'll start here.
Okay.
Okay. So I was gonna say, starting the game,
Draw 7 cards.
you should see the following cards in your hand. So draw 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I think they messed mine up. What'd you get?
Yeah,
Oh my god. They already messed it up.
Oh, was it from the bottom?
No, I think it's
I think it's from the bottom.
no.
Yeah,
Oh my
mine's from the bottom.
Really?
Yeah.
I think they put the wrong deck in mine.
Is yours not a vampire?
It said draw 7 cards. You should see the following cards in your hand, which is it's all forest.
Yeah, it's not in the right order, but it is. It is all the 7 cards that I'm supposed to pull.
Huh. And it said I'm supposed to have swamps in here, but instead I have forest.
Oh,
Yeah.
so there we go.
I think they put the wrong one in. Oh, that is funny. Oh, wait, hang on a second. Huh.
Oh wow, yours is all forest. Gotta write a letter.
AB.
We've got it on tape.
Oh, wait, no, you know what?
Are we supposed to shuffle it?
No, I'm an idiot.
No, it was supposed to be in the right order. I think they did it wrong.
Yeah, because you got the cards you were supposed to get, right?
Yeah, from the bottom of the deck.
From the bottom of the deck.
Yes.
Okay. Because you see, I do have zombies.
Oh, it says if your hand looks different, your deck may not have been the right order to start. If that happened, let's start over. Use the deck list on the previous page to set your deck in the right order. Then come back here.
Okay.
Okay, so yours isn't.
In the right.
So you have to search for yours.
Okay. Maybe if I actually read this thing. Okay. Greetings, I am Liliana Vest. Magic the Gathering is a wondrous pursuit, spirited and challenging to the worldwide community to explore. But you are double fortunate on this day. You have the ideal mentor, me. I will guide you as we play a training game against a minion of your choice, or a friend. A friend will work, or a friend will work as well. Whoever you have handy. Let us begin. Okay. Oh, okay. So there's multiple decks in here.
So it's in the wrong order.
Yeah, because look, so there's the undead. Here's goblins.
Oh, so mine just happened to be the right one.
Yeah. So these are jumpstart decks. Okay. There's Inferno. There's Elves. There's Primal.
Oh, there's a vampire.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
So do you need this one?
Yeah, let me see real quick. Okay. 1, 2.
But you should have one in yours, right?
Yeah. So there's vampires. No, I think the decks come together. So you have cats. Healing. That's why the box is the way it is. So it separates them. Right?
I thought we have the same ones.
Yeah, so there's healing. There's pirates. You see, I think the issue is I just assumed I know what the hell I'm talking about. And then,
I don't think they did it right.
well, no, I think they could have been like a little bit more, like
They could have separated.
a little bit
better.
more specific.
Yeah.
Like instructions unclear. Okay, so here's the box. So here we go. Oh, so that's really cool. So see, these are the Jumpstart decks. These are what these are.
Okay.
Because when you buy the Jumpstart booster, you'll get one of these separated into two bundles or two boosters, I think. So that's why it was a little weird. Okay.
So what's that one from?
These are tokens.
Oh.
So you only use them if the card allows you to generate them.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay, so you got the vampire deck.
Okay. Yeah, Vampire's deck. So face down. Okay. And then I'll draw 7.
And it should be the 7 that
Not quite.
it's on the bottom there.
Is it on the... Oh, it's on the bottom.
Because I had to look at the bottom.
Okay. So you're going to play them like this? So you're playing almost like it's face up so you know what's going to come next?
Uh-huh.
Is that what it...
I think so, because I don't...
Okay.
I guess that's how... I don't think they're going to show us right.
It says place your deck face down on the library. But that's face up. So it works if you do it face up.
Yeah.
Okay. Place a life counter with life total with the 10 showing. Okay. All right. Well, that was not difficult at all.
We were ready to contact Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah, no, this is like something, like, did they even play? You know, but I bet this is like a good lesson in like conception to actually packaging it.
Uh-huh.
It's like the telephone game. It's like, okay, this is what we want, and it is what you actually get. It's like, no, it's gonna be easy. Okay, very good. All right, so that looks about right. Okay, so finally we have what we have. As I throw it. Okay. So then it says here, you have 7 cards in your hand: 4 swamps, vampire interloper, vampire spawn, and moment of craving. If your hand looks different, your deck may not have been in the right order to start. If that happened, let's start over. Use the deck list on the previous page to set your deck in the right order and come back over here. I have a feeling a lot of people are just going to get stopped right
Yeah,
at that point.
they're going to be so confused.
Okay.
You figured it out because you understood how...
No, you figured it out because you told me. Oh, yeah. And then I did have an innate knowledge. But yeah, I think somebody who's just new to it is just going to rip open a box.
They're just going to mix it all up.
And they're just going to mix it all up. Yeah.
So that makes it so that you have to buy a new box.
That makes it to where you have to buy a new box.
It's like a mystery box.
Yeah, it's like a mystery box, yeah. Okay, you're playing the Vampire's deck. This deck balances some powerful creatures with the ability to drain your opponent's life while increasing your own. It rewards you for focusing on offense over defense. You can attack with your vampires rather than using them to defend yourself because many of your cards replenish your life total. So then, what does it say about your cat's deck?
You are playing the cat's deck. This deck allows you to summon feline companions, including the ferocious savanna lions, to outnumber and overrun your opponent's defenses. It's an aggressive deck that encourages you to attack often and with many creatures.
So we're just supposed to attack each other with unbridled unregard.
All I know is pass turn.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so then it looks like you have the blurb too about tapping and untapping your cards, right?
Yes.
So you tap lands to add mana so you can cast spells. You tap creatures to attack with them. Small abilities require you to tap cards to activate them. It says when you tap a card, turn it sideways so you and your opponent know it is tapped. Your tapped card becomes untapped at the beginning of the turn. When you untap a card, turn it right side up again.
Got it.
Taking turns. Okay, so your first turn. Going first can be an advantage. You get to set the tone. However, this perk comes at a cost. On every other turn, you draw a card at the beginning of your turn, but the player who plays first doesn't draw a card on the very first turn.
Okay.
So basically, whoever goes first doesn't draw a card. Okay. So then it looks like this is how it should look when I go on my first turn. So
you're on the second turn.
Yeah, so yours looks a little different.
Because it says you take the second turn of the game.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, so this is what it says on mine.
Okay.
I'm the second turn person.
Yeah, and then mine says, mine doesn't even say anything at the
Yeah.
bottom. Okay. All right, so I'll go on to first turn. So, beginning phase, you have no cards to untap, and you don't draw a card this turn. So, main phase, play a land. Find a swamp in your hand and play it untapped on your side of the battlefield. Okay? Boom. Swamp. The more lands you control, the more powerful spells you can cast. More power is good. You can play one land from your hand on each of your turns, and if you can, you should. Sometimes I'll forget to, and then pass the turn. It may not seem like much, but we're just getting started. Soon, we'll be casting spells and attacking and, winning, I assume. From now on, your first turn is done. Delightful. And it shows me this is what my hand should look like, and that is exactly what I have. Your turn is over. Pause here while the opponent takes their first turn.
Okay, so then my first turn. I see you are eager to begin, but we must exercise patience. Our opponent will take the first turn. Observe for now and wait for them to let you know their turn is complete. And the beginning phase for me is draw a card. Draw the top card of your library and add it to your hand. You've drawn a plains.
Yep.
This is the top, yeah.
Yep. So you add that to your hand.
So now I have 8 cards. The main phase, play a land, find a plains in your hand, and play it untapped on your side of the battlefield.
Okay.
So land, right?
Perfect. Yep, it comes in.
Okay, and then you can play one land from your hand during each of your turns. The more lands you control, the more mana you have each turn. This lets you cast more spells and more powerful spells. If you have a land card in your hand, it's usually a good idea to play it. Okay, so then next, it says cast a spell, Savannah Lions, which this is the Savannah Lions. The cost to cast the spell is 1 white mana. Tap 1 plains to pay this spell. So I'm going to tap and then place the Savannah Lions untapped on your side of the battlefield. Like this.
I think it's going to go up here in the creatures.
Both?
Your land is going to stay in the land zone, and your creatures are going to go into the creature zone.
Okay.
There you go.
And it says, rule reminder, creatures can't attack on the same turn they enter the battlefield. One special ability, haste, allows creatures to break this rule. So then it's now the ending phase. Pass the turn, you are out of mana, so tell your opponent it's now their turn. Pass turn.
Okay. Then it's going to say here your opponent's second turn. It says combat is where the real action happens. Creatures can't attack other creatures directly. They just attack your opponent. It's your opponent who decides whether to block or not, and which other creatures block, if any. Wait a second. Hang on a second. Oh, my second turn. Good grief. I skipped a page. Man, reading comprehension, right?
We don't know how to follow directions.
I'm telling you. Oh my god. Your second turn, beginning phase. Draw a card. Draw the top card of your library and add it to your hand. You've drawn a swamp. Okay. Play a land. Find a swamp in your hand and play it untapped on your side of the battlefield. There you go. Cast a spell, Vampire Interloper. The cost to cast a spell is 1 and a black. 1 mana of any type and 1 black mana. Tap 2 swamps to play this spell. Place Vampire Interloper untapped on your side of the battlefield. There you go. Vampire Interloper. Rule reminder. Creatures can't attack on the same turn they enter the battlefield. 1 special ability, Haste, allows creatures to break this rule. Ending phase. Pass the turn. You don't have enough mana to cast any more spells, so tell your opponent it's now their turn.
Alright, so my second turn. Your opponent's Vampire Interloper has flying, an ability that has it soaring above us. If it attacks, it can't be blocked except by other flyers and creatures with an ability called Reach. However, Vampire Interloper also can't block, so we have an opportunity to strike. So my beginning phase, untap cards, which I'm going to untap by putting it back, and it tells me to draw a card. So draw the top card of the library, add it to your hand. You've drawn a plains. Okay, so I have my plains. The main phase is now play a land, find a plains in your hand, and play it untapped on your side of the field. So I've put a plains, cast a spell, Leonin, Sky Hunter. The cost to cast this spell is 2 white manas. So this is my Leonin, and then I'm going to tap 2. Place the Leonin untapped on your side of the battlefield. Okay. Now we go into the combat phase. Attacking is one of the best ways to reduce your opponent's life total. That's how you win. Your opponent's creature can't block, so it's the perfect time to attack. And then you declare attackers, tap Savannah Lions, and tell your opponent that it is attacking them. I am attacking you.
Oh no!
Rule reminder, you tap a creature to show it's attacking. You don't need to pay its cost again. Creatures attack opponent, not other creatures. Another reminder, a creature's power is how much damage it deals in combat. Its toughness is how much you damage how much damage it takes in a single turn to destroy it. So this particular one, 2 damage, 2 power, and then 1 toughness, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so then declare blockers. Your opponent's creature can't block. And then you deal combat damage. Savannah Lions has power 2. It deals 2 damage to your opponent, reducing their life to 8.
Right.
So the rule reminder is, an unblocked creature deals combat damage to the player it's attacking, reducing their life total. So I am attacking
you.
you.
And it says here that Vampire Interloper cannot block. So I'll tell your opponent that I'm not declaring any blockers. I'm not declaring any blockers. I'll deal combat damage, so I'll go down to 8.
Okay, and then the ending phase for me, pass the turn, you played a land and cast a spell with no more mana to use. It's time to tell your opponent it's their turn. Pass turn.
Alright. So then it says my third turn. Your opponent struck first, and while the player who strikes first sometimes wins, the player who strikes last always does. Let's give you a taste of offense, shall we? So beginning phase, untap cards. Untap your 2 swamps. Draw a card. I've drawn a swamp. First main phase, play a land. Just like you did before. And it says here, each turn has 2 main phases. One before combat and one after. You can play a land and cast spells in either. There's no reason to wait to play our one land for the turn. But let's wait until our second main phase to cast Vampire Spawn. No need to tip anyone off too early. Knowing when to attack and when to stay back for defense is important. Vampire Interloper makes this decision easy. It can't block, so we might as well attack with it. Maybe your opponent will block, in which case Vampire Interloper is strong enough to eliminate Leonin Skyhunter. Maybe they won't, in which case we deal some damage to them. Win-win. So, declare attackers. Tap Vampire Interloper and tell your opponent that it's attacking them. Okay? I'm going to declare attacks, and Vampire Interloper is going to be attacking you. And it says flying. A creature with flying can be blocked only by other creatures with flying or an ability called reach. On defense, a creature with flying can block creatures with or without flying. So then it says declare blockers. Pause here while your opponent chooses whether to block with their Leonin Skyhunter. It has flying, so it could block Vampire Interloper.
Alright, so then I declare blockers. I tell my opponent that Leonin Sky Hunter is blocking it. So I tap. And rule reminder, any untapped creature can block. You don't need to tap it or pay. Oh, so I don't need to.
Yeah, you don't need to tap it.
Okay. I just need to make sure I tell the opponent Leonin Sky Hunter is blocking it.
Okay. Okay. So then it says here, creatures deal combat damage at the same time. They each have power 2, so they each deal 2 damage to the other. That's enough to destroy each creature. Put Vampire Interloper into your graveyard, and your opponents put Leonin Skyhunter into theirs. So
Leonin Skyhunter goes into the graveyard.
Yep. And so does Vampire Interloper.
Okay.
So it says here, rule reminder. A creature's power is how much damage it deals in combat. Its toughness is how much damage it takes in a single turn to destroy it. Attacks don't have to get through to the opponent to be successful. We eliminated their best creature, an excellent turn's work. So now it says my second main phase. Cast a spell, Vampire Spawn. It says the cost to cast a spell is 2 and a black. 2 mana of any type and 1 black mana. Tap 3 swamps to pay for this spell. Place Vampire Spawn untapped on your side of the battlefield. Vampire Spawn has a special ability that triggers when it enters the battlefield. So it says here, when this creature enters, each opponent loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life.
Okay, so then I'm the opponent, so Vampire Spawn has an ability that triggers when it enters. Your opponent gains 2 life, raising their life to 10. You lose 2 life, reducing it to 8. Okay, so 8.
Okay. And I go back to 10. I realize that you should probably have the white dice, and I should probably have the black dice. Let's switch. I don't think really. I just thought it was kind of funny because I was looking. I was like, "Hey, your dice is hard to read."
But it's pretty. It's purple.
Did you like it? You can keep it if you want. Oh no, the salt is flowing already.
Okay, your third turn. My third turn. The Vampire Spawn is troubling. While we want to play aggressively, we must also play wisely. Let's focus on casting more creatures until we have the advantage. So the beginning phase, untap cards, untap your tapped cards. So untap, draw a card. You've drawn a Felidar Savior. Okay. And then the main phase is play a land. Play your third planes just like you did before. So here's my third planes. Cast a spell, Prideful Parent.
Don't forget to untap your...
this, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So cast a spell. The cost to cast the spell is 2 mana of any type and a white mana. So 2 mana and a white mana. Place Prideful Parent untapped on your side of the battlefield. Prideful Parent has an ability that triggers when it enters. Place a cat token, a 1/1 creature, untapped on your side of the battlefield.
There you go. There's your cat.
Okay, so that's where it goes.
And that's how you get tokens.
Okay. A creature token is like a bonus creature that's created by some spells and abilities. The creature token is just like any other creature. It can attack, just not the first turn it entered. It can also block. Tokens can't stay in the graveyard or your hand. If one ever leaves the battlefield, just set it aside in case another token is created later in the game. So now we go into the combat phase. If Savannah Lions attacks, Vampire Spawn can block it. Okay, so if Savannah Lions attacks, Savannah Lions' power of 2 is less than Vampire Spawn's. Okay, so the 2 and the 1.
And this has Vampire Spawn has 2 and a 3.
2 and a 3, which is not enough to destroy it. So we must skip attacking this turn. So then we go into the ending phase. Pass the turn, you are out of mana, so tell your opponent it's now their turn. Pass turn.
Okay, my 4th turn. Those blasted cats are everywhere. Don't worry though, sometimes it's quality over quantity. So beginning phase, untap cards. Untap your 3 swamps. Highborn Vampire will be the most powerful creature on the battlefield. Being outnumbered isn't so bad when you're outnumbered by the weak. Man, it's kind of rude. So let me see. Oh yes, of course, draw a card. So I'll draw Highborn Vampire. So play land, play your 4th swamp. So there's a swamp. Cast a spell, Highborn Vampire. The cost to cast a spell is 3 and a black. 3 mana of any type and 1 black mana. So tap 4 swamps to play this card. And place Highborn Vampire untapped on your side of the battlefield. So it says, I recommend not attacking this turn. Not just going to take my word for it? Fine, I'll explain. Vampire Spawn is larger than any one of your opponent's creatures, but blockers have the advantage. Your opponent could send more than one of their creatures to block. Yes, Vampire Spawn could deal damage however you want, but at best you could destroy only one of your opponent's creatures. Trading Vampire Spawn for one of your opponent's weaker creatures, not interested. So I'll go ahead and pass the turn.
Okay. Alright, so then beginning phase of my 4th turn, I untap the cards. And then I draw a card. And you've drawn a Plains. Your deck excels at teamwork, and no card embodies that more than Felidar Savior, our play for this turn. It strengthens 2 of your creatures and makes them bigger problems for your opponent. We go into the main phase, play a land on your 4th.
I think you needed to draw your card too.
I did, which is this.
Okay, you drew a Plains?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry.
And then I'm going to put my 4th plane. Cast a spell, Felidar Savior. The cost to cast this spell is 3 mana of any type and a white mana. Tap 4 planes to pay for this spell. Tap all of it. And then I'm going to put this into the battlefield. Felidar Savior has an ability that triggers when it enters. Felidar Savior's triggered ability targets up to 2 other creatures you control. Choose Prideful Parent and Savannah Lions, just these 2. Put a +1/+1 counter on each of your 2 targets. Prideful Parent becomes 3/3 creature, and Savannah Lions becomes 3/2.
Okay, here's your +1/+1 counters. Alright.
A rule reminder, a +1/+1 counter raises a creature's power and toughness by 1. It stays on the creature until the creature leaves the battlefield or something else removes the counter.
Which one gets the +1/+1 counters?
Both.
Okay, so one gets Savannah Lions gets a +1/+1, and then Prideful Parent gets +1/+1.
Yes.
Okay, so you're buffing them up.
Okay. And then we go into the combat phase. Anticipating what your opponent might do while you're considering attacking is an important step towards success. Your cat token is too small to send into combat this turn, but Prideful Parent matches up well with the defenses you see across from you. Let's be aggressive. Declare attackers. Declare that the Prideful Parent is attacking your opponent. It has an ability called Vigilance. And Vigilance is if a creature with Vigilance attacks, it doesn't tap. This means if it survives, it will be available to block on your opponent's next turn. Declare blockers. Your opponent does not declare any blockers.
Yeah, I am not declaring any blockers.
Okay. Then deal combat damage. Prideful Parent has power 3 and was not blocked. It deals 3 damage to your opponent, reducing their life total to 7.
Okay, 9, 8, 7. There you go. Down to 7.
So then now we do the ending phase, pass turn.
Okay, so it says here, outnumbered again, but if your opponent thinks you're going to be intimidated, they'll need to think again. So beginning phase, untap cards. Untap your 4 swamps and draw a card. So I've drawn Untamed Hunger. Enchantments are cards that stay on the battlefield. Although they don't attack or block like creatures, they can be very powerful. The Untamed Hunger you just drew is an aura, a special type of enchantment. Untamed Hunger attaches to a single creature, making it even more fearsome. So play a land. So I'll play my 5th swamp. And I'll cast a spell, Untamed Hunger. So the cost to cast a spell is 2 and a black. 2 mana of any type and 1 black mana. Tap 3 swamps to play this spell. Place Untamed Hunger on near Highborn Vampire, making it clear to everyone that Highborn Vampire is being enchanted by Untamed Hunger. So, rule reminder, auras enter attached to whatever is described in the enchant ability. If you don't control any creatures, you would not be able to cast an aura that enchants a creature. Enchantments that aren't auras don't attach to anything. So, Highborn Vampire gets it. So it says enchanted creature gets +2/+1 and has menace. It can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. You have enough mana available to cast the Moment of Craving in your hand, but we're not going to do that quite yet. I'll explain more later, but instants are spells that can be cast at any time, even during your opponent's turn. No need to rush, they're perfect for unsavory surprises. What fun. So declare attackers. Tap Highborn Vampire and tell your opponent that it's attacking them. So I'm attacking with Highborn Vampire. It is currently a 6/4. And then pause to let your opponents decide if they want to block. They would need 2 untapped creatures to block Highborn Vampire. Oh, I think this taps because you attacked with Savannah Lions.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you currently have 3 untapped creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you completed your combat?
Yeah, does it tell you if you're going to block or not?
Let's see. Deal combat damage. Highborn Vampire has power 6 due to Untamed Hunger. It deals 6 damage to you, reducing your life total to 2.
Oh, wow. Oh, no.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
There's 2.
Oh, no.
Combat complete. Your opponent can cast spells after combat. They won't this time, but wait for them to tell you their turn is over.
Okay. My turn is over.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
Okay. So my 5th turn, there's a lot more to magic than casting creatures and attacking. A sorcery has a one-time effect, but that effect can be game-changing. That highborn vampire may rule the battlefield now, but not for long. We might be at 2 life, but we are far from losing. Beginning phase, untap cards. Draw a card. You've drawn an angelic edict. Edict. Main phase, play a land. Play your 5th planes. Cast a spell, angelic edict. The cost to cast this spell is 4 mana of any type and a white mana. So tap 4 and 5. And then put this into battle. Choose the Highborn Vampire as the spell's target. Your opponent puts Highborn Vampire into exile and Untamed Hunger into their graveyard. You put Angelic Edict into yours as it resolves.
Okay, so it's a sorcery, so it's a one-time use. So it'll come out onto the battlefield. It'll say exile target creature or enchantment. So you're going to be targeting Highborn Vampire.
Yes.
So Highborn Vampire gets exiled, so it actually goes into the exile zone.
Okay.
Which is different than graveyard.
Okay.
And then Untamed Hunger will go into the graveyard.
And then my Angelic Edict would go into graveyard.
Yep.
Okay. Rule reminder, if an aura isn't attached to anything, for example, because the creature it was attached to was destroyed or exiled, it's put into its own graveyard. Okay. Auras can be very powerful, but a single spell can remove both the creature and the aura, enchanting it. Your opponent put all their yarn in one garment and paid the price. Does your plane have a similar expression? Let's go back on the attack. Rule reminder, a card in the exile zone isn't on the battlefield or in the graveyard. Some effects exile a card and provide a way for that card to return. Some effects exile cards indefinitely. Now we go into the combat phase. Again, a cat token is too small to pose much of a threat, so let's leave it back. If nothing else, it will be available to block just in case. Attacking with multiple creatures can be daunting for an opponent. They have a lot to consider, and our creatures are pretty big. Let's see how they handle it. Declare attackers. Declare that Savannah Lions, Prideful Parent, and Philodar Savior are attacking. Attack. Declare blockers. Your opponent blocks Philodar Savior with Vampire.
Oh, okay. So here we go. So then it'll say here, losing your mightiest creature is an unfortunate development. Our opponent has launched an aggressive assault against us. Being patient with our instant will now pay off, though. They think we are at our weakest, but the game often hinges on counter moves. So, combat phase, declare attackers. So your opponent declares that Savannah Lions, Prideful Parent, and Philodar Savior are attacking you. And Vigilance. Since Prideful Parent has Vigilance, it doesn't tap. The other attackers must all tap. It says here, I enjoy death as much as anyone, but making a block where neither creature dies can be the best play sometimes. Block creatures don't deal damage to you, so to keep your life total healthy, use your high toughness creature to get in the way. After blockers are declared, each player has the opportunity to cast instant spells. Your opponent seems to be out of mana, however you are not. So, declare blockers. Blocks Philodar Savior with Vampire Spawn. So I will block Philodar Savior with Vampire Spawn. Cast a spell, Moment of Craving. So the cost to cast a spell is 1 in a black, 1 mana of any type, and 1 black mana. Tap 2 swamps to play this spell.
So this instant gives Savannah Lions -2/-2 until end of turn.
Target Savannah Lions, it gets +(-2/-2), making it a 1/0 creature. You also gain 2 life, bring your life total up to 9. Put Moment of Craving into your graveyard. Your opponent puts Savannah Lions into their graveyard. Or, target Savannah Lions, yeah.
Okay. So the graveyard?
Into graveyard,
Okay.
yeah. Okay. So if a creature's toughness is reduced to 0 or less, it must be put into the graveyard. So deal combat damage. Prideful Parent has power 3. Remember that the +1/+1 counter and wasn't blocked. It deals 3 damage to you, reducing your life total to 6. And then Felidor Savior was blocked by Vampire Spawn. They each have power 2, so they deal 2 damage to each other. However, they each have toughness 3, so 2 damage isn't enough to destroy either creature. So they basically bounce off of each other. So Felidor Savior has lifelink. If dealing damage also causes your opponents to gain an equal amount of life, it dealt 2 damage to Vampire Spawn, so they gain 2 life, bringing their life total to 4. So you gain 2 life.
So
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, rule reminder. Damage heals from creatures that survived and are still on the battlefield during the ending phase. Combat complete. Pause and wait for your opponent to tell you their turn is over.
Okay. So then I will deal combat damage. There are multiple attacking creatures, so let's break this down. Prideful Parent has power 3. Remember the +1/+1 counter and wasn't blocked. It deals 3 damage to your opponent, reducing their life total to 6.
Okay, yeah, which I took that.
Okay. Felidar Savior was blocked by Vampire Spawn. They each have power 2, so they each deal 2 damage to the other. However, they each have toughness 3, so 2 damage isn't enough to destroy their creature. Your creature or my creature?
They actually bounce off of each other. That's called a bounce. So his 2 power will go against Felidar Savior's 3 toughness, and Felidar Savior's 2 toughness, or 2 power, will go against Vampire Spawn's 3 toughness. So they don't but die.
Got it. And this is what's called a life link. Felidar Savior has life link. It dealing damage also causes you to gain an equal amount of life. It dealt 2 damage to Vampire Spawn, so you gain 2 life, bringing your life total to 4, which you already did. Rule reminder, damage heals from creatures that survived and are still on the battlefield during the ending phase. And I pass turn.
Okay. It says your 6th turn at a beyond. I admit my expectations of you were, well, not that important. What is important is that you've exceeded them. Your first game is progressing nicely, but can you finish it? Our time together is drawing to a close, but you have the tools to excel. One day you may even stand across the battlefield from me. You should hope that day does not come, but on this day, greatness is yours. The next step. Congratulations and welcome. Now that you've finished the game and learned the basics of Magic, you've taken the first step into a deep and beautiful world. So what comes next? For more in-depth video content explaining some of the terms and concepts of Magic, check out Learn MTG. You'll find a wealth of information to help you on your journey.
Did I win?
So I think the idea is that it wants us to continue playing on our own.
Oh, I don't know how.
No, it's okay. I think it's great because it allows us to kind of play it out a little bit.
But I didn't read any of these dialogues, so I don't know what I'm supposed to actually do.
That's okay. We have the video, and then anybody else who is watching can follow along. It actually worked out perfect, I think.
Okay.
I think a lot of people are gonna unbox this and have a very similar experience to us.
Oh, look. Oh, this is
Oh,
very
look.
pretty.
Oh, I got some artwork too. That's
Aw.
amazing.
I'm a cat.
I'm a woman. It's ma'am.
We switched roles. It's okay.
That's funny.
All
Okay.
right, so
Yeah, it's good. Now,
I'm still just as confused.
yeah, I know, right? Yeah. I thought it was cool. I thought it was like a cool little like
It
intro.
made it look like I knew what I was doing.
No, well, you did know what you were doing. I think you weren't as light. I think you did great.
Here's a token.
There you go. There's a token. And then we can like put it in our box. So now if we ever get bored, we can like sling out some jumpstart.
I have to put it in the right order though.
No, I don't think so. I think it was like a one-time go. That's it. Cats deck. Oh yeah, there you go. Cats, and then here's a token. And then the confetti. I don't know where the confetti's gonna go.
It's just,
Really?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, they did it. Wow. Okay.
How long was that?
That was a lot. That was an hour on the
Oh my
dot.
gosh.
Yeah, well, actually a little bit more because we have the blooper as well, the blooper reels. Oh my god, that was funny. And you said this was the one that sold out.
Well, out of that location.
Yeah.
Because there was only 3.
But people jumped on it, basically.
I know, within a minute. Like,
Yeah,
I
like
turned
they were waiting
around,
for it, yeah.
It was gone.
Well, it's an incredible deal because you have all these, you get the jump. Well, I mean, you paid, what, $60 for it, right?
$64.99.
Okay, so the jumpstart boosters, so one of these equals one of those. So you said this was like 10, right?
Yeah, $10.99.
So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So you got $100 worth of product.
For $64.99.
For $64.99.
Okay.
Yeah, plus 2 play mats. So that's actually pretty good, huh? Okay, I think we're good. I think we're going to have to do the collector boosters maybe
At a later date.
at a later date. Yeah, it's getting past. I think that's going to be really cool. Because you know what? There's like board games that I've tried to play. And I didn't understand them. So I'd look for YouTube. Yep, it's still going. There you go. It's the after image. The after talk.